Revolution. A word that shakes the foundations of any society. In 1789, France erupted in one of the most significant upheavals in history, the French Revolution. It tore down the old order and gave rise to new ideas, new leaders, and a new world. Among those who emerged from the ashes was a man who would redefine the course of European history, Napoleon Bonaparte. Today we explore the impact of the French Revolution through Napoleon's eyes, and how this period shaped his destiny as one of history's most complex figures. Napoleon's early life in the Revolution. Born in 1769 on the island of Corsica, Napoleon Bonaparte grew up in a time of great change. The French Revolution began when he was just 20 years old, and it would soon transform his life. As a young military officer, Napoleon watched the revolution unfold with a mix of fascination and ambition. He saw not only the chaos and violence, but also the potential for a new order. One where talent, not birthright, determined success. The revolution's ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity resonated with him. But he also recognized the opportunities it presented for someone with his ambition and skill. Rise to power. The revolution brought Napoleon to prominence. His military genius became apparent during the Italian campaign of 1796, where he led the French army to a series of stunning victories. These successes made him a national hero and paved the way for his political rise. In 1799, Napoleon staged a coup d'état known as the 18th Brumaire, overthrowing the Directory and establishing the consulate, with himself as first consul. Just a few years later, in 1804, he would crown himself Emperor of the French, solidifying his power and signaling the end of the revolution's republican aspirations. Napoleon's reforms. While some saw Napoleon as a betrayer of the revolution, others viewed him as its greatest achievement. He introduced sweeping reforms that stabilized and modernized France. One of his most enduring legacies was the Napoleonic Code, a civil code introduced in 1804 that enshrined the principles of legal equality and property rights. This code influenced legal systems around the world, from Europe to Latin America. Napoleon was also a champion of education reform. He established a national education system, founded several schools, including the prestigious École Polytechnique, and standardized the curriculum. His belief in meritocracy and the importance of a well-educated citizenry reflected the revolution's values. The Egyptian expedition. Napoleon's ambitions extended far beyond the borders of France. In 1798, he led an expedition to Egypt, not just as a military campaign, but as a cultural and scientific mission. He brought with him 167 scientists, engineers, and artists who studied ancient Egyptian culture and science. This expedition led to the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, which eventually allowed scholars to decode Egyptian hieroglyphs. It was a testament to Napoleon's vision of himself as a modernizing force, bringing the light of knowledge to the world. Financial and social reforms. Back in France, Napoleon continued to implement reforms that would stabilize the nation. In 1800, he established the Bank of France to bring order to the chaotic post-revolutionary economy. This institution played a crucial role in stabilizing the French currency and supporting the nation's economic growth. Napoleon also introduced the metric system, standardizing weights and measures across France, which was another step towards rationalizing the economy and society. The Wars of Napoleon. Napoleon's legacy is inseparable from the wars he fought, conflicts that reshaped Europe. Known as the Napoleonic Wars, these conflicts spanned from 1803 to 1815, involving nearly every major European power. His campaigns included the War of the Third Coalition, where he secured his greatest victory at the Battle of Austerlitz in 1805. The War of the Fourth Coalition, which saw his forces march triumphantly through Berlin, and the Peninsular War, where his occupation of Spain ignited fierce resistance. Yet it was not all victories. The catastrophic Russian campaign of 1812 marked the beginning of his downfall. The brutal winter and scorched earth tactics devastated his Grande Armée. In 1814, after a series of defeats, Napoleon was forced to abdicate and was exiled to the island of Elba. However, his story didn't end there. He escaped from Elba in 1815 and returned to power in what is known as the 100 Days. His final stand came at the Battle of Waterloo, where he was decisively defeated by the Duke of Wellington, leading to his second abdication. The Legion of Honor and promoting equality. Napoleon understood the importance of rewarding merit and encouraging loyalty. In 1802, he created the Legion of Honor, an order of merit that remains France's highest decoration for military and civil merits. But his efforts to promote equality and modernize society didn't stop there. Napoleon was a champion of religious tolerance. He ended discrimination against Jews and Protestants in France and its conquered territories, recognizing the need for unity and equality in a rapidly changing world. Napoleon's legacy and the myths. Napoleon's legacy is complex. He was often portrayed as a tyrant, but he was also a visionary leader who sought to build a society based on merit and equality. Contrary to popular belief, Napoleon was not short. He was about 5 feet 7 inches, 170 centimeters, which was average for his time. He was a prolific writer, penning numerous books and articles, including a romantic novel titled Clisson et Eugénie. His impact on France and the world is undeniable, from his educational reforms to the Napoleonic Code, and even his attempts to escape exile, twice in fact. After escaping from Elba in 1815, he nearly escaped from St. Helena in 1816 using a hot air balloon. The final exile and death. After his defeat at Waterloo, Napoleon was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic Ocean. Unlike Elba, there would be no escape this time. Surrounded by the British military, Napoleon spent his remaining years in confinement, reflecting on his life and legacy. On May 5, 1821, Napoleon Bonaparte died at the age of 51. The cause of his death remains a subject of debate, with theories ranging from stomach cancer to arsenic poisoning. His body was eventually returned to France in 1840, where he was buried with full honors in a grand tomb at Les Invalides in Paris. Through Napoleon's eyes, the French Revolution was not just a moment of chaos and violence, but an opportunity to reshape the world. His life and legacy are a testament to the enduring power of revolutionary ideals and the impact one man can have on the course of history. From Egypt to Waterloo, from the Napoleonic Code to the Legion of Honor, Napoleon's influence is still felt today. He was a product of the revolution, but he was also one of its greatest architects. Join us next time as we continue to explore the fascinating stories that have shaped our world. Until then, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep exploring history.